meeting you all here today. My name is Eglė Čiuoderienė, and I serve as a business development executive at Baltic Amadeus. Additionally, I do work for European Commission as the expert evaluator of Horizon Europe projects related to healthcare technologies. And today we are going to delve into the future of healthcare and medical startups, focusing on the role of digitalization at the first part of the presentation. And the second part of the presentation will be dedicated to the actual tips and tricks, and we will talk how to create the startup and how to get the investment. Personally, I've been deeply involved into the global business development, communication and digitalization for over 15 years. And I've been working across multiple industries, starting from banking, defense, shipping, telco, and of course, my current and the main emphasis right now is on the healthcare technology. Because healthcare sector is rapidly evolving, making it ripe for innovation and digital transformation. So why it is important to speak about the digitalization in healthcare? Because digitalization is not just a trend, but a necessity in healthcare. It empowers providers to offer better patient care, streamline operations, make informed decisions, expand reach through telemedicine, and provide individualized treatments. As we continue to innovate, the future of healthcare looks promising, efficient, and patient-centric. As we look to the global landscape, so who is leading? Currently, it's Israel, known as a startup nation. Israel is at forefront of medical technology and digital health innovations, and it has over 500 digital health startups. Innovations range from AI diagnostic tools to telemedicine solutions. I've been working clearly to the Switzerland's healthcare community, and there I could clearly see that a lot of wise professionals are coming from Israel to Switzerland to work on the Swiss medtech innovations. So why? To implement digital transformation in healthcare. The healthcare sector is undergoing a digital revolution. And it's not just about adopting new technologies, but also enhancing patient care and meeting the challenges of the modern world. Let's delve into the digital transformation in healthcare. It's not just necessity, but imperative. So first of all, we have to meet patient expectations. In today's digital age, patients are not just seeking but expecting digital solutions for their healthcare needs. This change is evidenced by the fact that 70% of patients are more inclined to choose a healthcare provider that offers reminders to their follow-up care via methods they use daily, like email or text. And this isn't a mere assumption. Accenture has highlighted this in their survey. Second thing is scalability and growth. Especially for healthcare startups or rapidly expanding entities, digital solutions provide a clear roadmap for scalability, ensuring they can grow without hurdles and reach wider patient demographics seamlessly. Third, it's improved outcomes. Digital transformation isn't just about convenience, it's about efficacy. Digital tools and platforms lead to tangible improvements in patient outcomes. Furthermore, with the integration of AI, we've seen a substantial reduction in hospital readmissions, a decrease of up to 30%, according to the Harvard Business Review. Cost efficiency. As we know, healthcare can be expensive. However, digital transformation offers significant cost saving for both providers and patients alike. AI alone has the potential to save the US healthcare sector for a whopping $150 billion annually by 2026. And this isn't just a projection. This is a data-backed information from Accenture. And the last one is addressing global health challenges. We live in a globally connected world facing challenges from pandemics to chronic diseases that don't recognize borders. Digital transformation enables us to address these challenges head-on, leveraging technology to find innovative solutions, ensuring we are not just reactive but proactive in our approach. So it is essential that the digital transformation in healthcare is a holistic approach to patient care, growth, and global health challenges. By embracing it, we are ensuring a healthier future for all. And let's look at the key technologies in healthcare which are currently implemented in the market or it's attracting most of the investment. First of all, let's deep dive and talk about the electronic health records. It's a very important topic in Lithuania currently. So think of it as a patient's digital health diary, keeping all the important information in one place. What could be the real-world use? Hospitals across the globe use Epic systems to make healthcare smoother and manage all those admin jobs more efficiently. So you will hear a lot of concerns about this in Lithuania, about opening the patient's data for scientific research or use it in between different hospitals and systems. So just check how Epic system is operating. Then telemedicine. It is the future of doctors' visits. The pandemic already showed that we can use telemedicine quite smoothly in Lithuania as well. So chat with healthcare professionals online without stepping outside. What could be the real world use? It's a Teladoc health system. So you are one call away from medical advice 24/7, no waiting rooms. Wearable health devices. Trendy gadgets that don't just look cool, but also keep an eye on your health stats. For instance, the Apple Watch Series 6 isn't just for telling time. It can check your oxygen levels and even take a quick peek at your heart's activity. Of course, these are just for the simple use. These are not medical devices, and you do not need to take the results extremely serious. Artificial intelligence and machine learning. So super smart computers that dive deep into health data, making doctors' jobs a bit easier. For instance, Google's DeepMind is just about tech. It helps spot the eye issues, ensuring patients get the right treatment faster. Virtual reality and augmented reality. It's more just than a game. These tools are transforming how we learn and heal in the medical field. For instance, also VR takes surgical training to the next level, letting med students to practice operations in a risk-free digital world. Personally, I was working a lot with the VR and IR solutions for the healthcare sector 6 years ago. At the time, I was working in the company which created the VR therapy for phobias treatment, and we've been testing the different solutions that could help for medical students to learn more efficiently anatomy, for instance. But these technologies are pretty expensive, and it takes time to create them, and the gears itself, they're expensive, so it's not that easy to put them into the market as quickly as projected. Blockchain. You probably heard about blockchain a lot, talking about the cryptocurrencies. I'm not a huge fan of the cryptocurrencies, but blockchain, it's an interesting technology to explore. So imagine a digital ledger that rock solid, secure, and totally transparent. So that's a blockchain for you. For instance, MIT's MedRec is a trailblazer, using blockchain to safeguard medical records and make them easily accessible to the right people. 3D printing is not just for toys and models. Now we are crafting medical tools and even body parts. For instance, how about a real heart? So in 2019, in Tel Aviv University, they took a giant leap, crafting the world's first 3D printed heart from the patient cells. So a little bit again about my personal touch to these technologies. I had a startup by myself 8 years ago. It was in the 3D printing industry. And once I was working there and creating the 3D printed models, it was said that the industry will boom in between the 5 years, and that we all will have the 3D printers at home, and we will manage to print, I don't know, candies or little toys, or it will be used in the cosmos and by the astronauts, and all the devices needed for them, they will be printed, or it will be used in the medicine, but it's not really happening as quickly as possible. It's the same as the VR. Then genomics and personalized medicine. So healthcare designed just for you based on your unique genetic code. So the ones, if you've been present at the Life Sciences Baltic, personalized medicine was one of the key topics discussed there, and it's a very, very interesting area to explore it more. Real-world use, it would be the company called 23andMe. It's more than a genealogy kit. By mapping your genes, it offers insight into potential health risks and helps you to get ahead of them. But we have to be very careful that this technology, because it's not really there yet that it can predict the potential risks and illnesses for you in the future. So we really have to think about how we are using those innovative technologies. And then robotics and automation. So robots in the operating room, yes, they are lending hand, making surgeries more precise and safer. For instance, Da Vinci surgical system, a robot-assisted tech that's revolutionizing surgeries, offering unmatched precision and control. Nanotechnology, the magic happens at the microscopic level, tiny particles doing big jobs, especially in medicine. For instance, for cancer patients, nanoparticles are a beacon of hope. They are being designed to carry drugs straight to the cancer cells, upping effectiveness and slashing side effects. About that, check the innovative medicine, Lithuanian Innovative Medicine Center. They are working quite a lot with the nanotechnology, and they're doing fascinating researches, such as look there for more information. And now let's dive into the digital health and cardiovascular disease management and how technology can help to do that. So first of all, let's discuss the artificial intelligence and machine learning. So AI in cardiology utilizes machine learning to analyze vast data sets, like electronic health records to predict cardiovascular risks and offer personalized health devices. This technology is akin to a detective connecting data points to foresee cardiovascular events. While AI boasts accurate predictions, efficiency, and personalization, it also raises concerns about data privacy, data quality, and ethical considerations regarding AI decision-making. This is a very important thing to remember, that while implementing different AI tools, that data quality is the essence, the data quality which you are using to train your algorithm. It is really hard to get the access as a startup to the credible information sources. And since we do not have that field or data sets in Lithuania where we can train our data locally here, it's a really huge issue. Plus the language aspect, we can't train the algorithm using Lithuanian language. We do have startups that are improving the data sets in the Lithuanian language, but still it's not that kind of quality which the data sets should be for the artificial intelligence used for medical. So we talked a bit about the wearables already. So wearables and biosensors are the body-worn devices that monitor physiological parameters like heart rate and blood pressure. They provide real-time data for accurate health monitoring, offer convenience, and can predict onset of diseases. However, they vary in data accuracy and require robust cybersecurity measures. Whereas genomic medicine involves analyzing an individual's genetic information to predict their risks of developing cardiovascular diseases. This information can also be used to monitor disease progression and develop personalized treatment plans. Remote patient monitoring. So it employs advanced technologies to gather health data from individuals in their homes or other locations. But it's very important to take into consideration that in the real world, it's not really working like that. It is really hard to collect the information from the different data sets, from the different devices, from the different sources, because we don't have one application, one program which extracts it, converts it, and makes it run smoothly on all the systems. So in the ideal world, this data aids has to work in forecasting and averting cardiovascular incidents and in supervising patients with the pre-existing heart conditions. So simply to put, remote patient monitoring systems acts as a constant personal nurse, observing one's well-being and stepping in when required, all from the convenience of home. Advantages include fewer hospital trips, timely detection of health anomalies, and potential cost savings. However, as I mentioned, technical issues and concerns about the data privacy pose challenges. Telemedicine leverages digital platforms for remote medical services, offering virtual consultations, remote monitoring, and online health education. Most of us tried during the COVID pandemic, and we've seen how it's working, what's the pros and what's the cons of this technology. So it offers increased accessibility and convenience, and especially when it's using in the rural areas. It can be cost-effective compared to traditional visits. However, it may have limitations in physical examinations and technology access, and the quality of care can vary across the platforms. 3D printing in cardiology offers solutions like customized implants for patients and has potential in tissue engineering for heart repair. Additionally, robotic systems assist in complex cardiac surgeries, and automated defibrillators are available for public use during cardiac emergencies. And additional technologies, we've been talking about it earlier, so just a little bit, let's dig dive a little bit in more detail. So virtual reality offers immersive simulations, providing medical professionals platforms for hands-on training and in surgeries and procedures. Whereas augmented reality assists in surgeries by overlaying real-time data and visualizations on the actual surgical field. Both technologies have the potential to revolutionize education, training, and surgical procedures in cardiology. So here in the picture you see the third version of it. It's mixed reality. It's so-called HoloLens by Microsoft. So yes, these technologies has the future, especially in training and education, and it can help for students to learn difficult subjects more efficiently. Talking about the bioinformatics and computational biology in cardiology, we have to put the emphasis on the genomic data analysis, which enables personalized medicine by using bioinformatics to identify genetic factors linked to cardiovascular diseases. This aids in creating tailored treatment plans. Meanwhile, computational biology aids drug development by simulating drug impacts on cardiovascular functions, expediting the development process, and spotting potential side effects early. So now I want to give you a little bit more of the inspiration for you. So here are some of the best known and most successful cardiovascular technology startups around the world, their solutions, and the impact they're making. These startups are making significant contributions to the field of cardiovascular technology, offering innovative solutions that improve patient outcomes and transform the way cardiovascular diseases are diagnosed and managed. So, as you can see, this is the LifeCore, that it's a mobile ECG device. Then iRhythm Technologies, it's wearable technology, as you can see. And here are a few solutions powered by AI. It's a smart stethoscopes and AI-powered software for detecting heart conditions, and AI-based software for analyzing ECG data. And so you can see that, as I've been mentioning before, these are the areas where most of the investments are coming. So basically it's AI, it's wearables, it's data management and collection. So what are the main challenges on the way forward? The first it's the data privacy and security. So we have to be all aware that patient data protection is vital. Then legacy systems. We do have very sophisticated and complicated legacy systems implemented in the hospitals right now. And integrating older hospital systems with the new tech is really challenging. And of course, staff training. It is essential for maximizing the benefits of digital healthcare. So what are the key problems and obstacles in healthcare digitalization? Healthcare startups face tough rules and need legal advice early on. This is really important to remember. Protecting patient data is a must, and they need good cybersecurity. Then funding is a challenge, especially for medical devices. Startups can look for partners or use crowdfunding. Also, convincing healthcare professionals to try new tech can be tough, but building good relationships helps. Also, it is important to remember that healthcare has various stakeholders like doctors and insurers with different needs. It is vital to understand and address these needs separately. Many healthcare systems don't talk well with each other, so using open standards and teamwork with tech experts is the key. New solutions need thorough checks, meaning partnerships with medical groups are crucial. Lastly, what's effective in one place might not be in another, so it is essential to design adaptable solutions and research markets before growing. So let's talk about the problems more. And tech startups face unique challenges when diving into healthcare. Firstly, healthcare is complex and needs more understanding than most of the areas. Selling places like hospitals takes a lot of time because of strict approvals. Also, the fear of being sued, especially for mistakes, stops many from trying new things. And finally, unlike other tech areas, healthcare doesn't have a friendly environment for the new startups yet, making it hard for them to grow and work together. So, what are the ethical implications of digital health? First of all, it's data privacy. Lots of health data is collected through apps and devices. It is essential to keep this data safe and not misuse or sell it without permission. Then, informed consent. Patients should know and understand how their data is used when using digital health tools. Equity of access. Digital health tools should be available to everyone, not just specific groups, so everyone gets equal health opportunities. Then quality and safety of the digital tools. Doctor-patient relationships, overdiagnosis and over-reliance, and transparency and accountability. It's really important to take into the consideration. So what is the regulatory landscape in digital health? It ensures and why it is needed. So basically it ensures that medical technologies are safe, effective, and adhere to the highest standards. It encompasses laws, guidelines, and standards that digital health solutions must comply with. So please have a look at these regulations needed to be implemented and embedded into your solutions or devices. So to sum it up, what are the key considerations for digital health startups? What you have to keep in mind if you want to start a digital health startup? First of all, know what type of your product is. Medical device, medical software, or just a wellness product. Each has different rules to follow. Then, if it's a medical device or software, you might need to prove it's safe and works. Of course, always keep your patient data safe if your product uses it. Make sure your product can work with other digital health systems like electronic health records. So now let's move more into the more practical part, and let's talk how to start a digital care startup. So how to start a healthcare startup? Starting a healthcare startup involves idea generation, validation, business planning, team formation, and securing funding. Identify healthcare system gaps, validate ideas, draft a flexible business plan, and build a diverse team, and explore funding options. But that's not it. You also have to think about the development and iteration, regulatory navigation, launch and marketing activities, growth and scaling, and continuous learning and adaptation. We've talked a lot about this, but just to remind you that these are the areas where most of the investments coming. So it's telemedicine, artificial intelligence and machine learning, wearable health devices, personalized precision medicine, and then healthcare cloud computing. Actually, cloud computing, it's also a very interesting topic to explore because there are lots of concerns about putting the healthcare data into the cloud. But eventually we have to move forward to the cloud and stop using the data warehouses just because we are operating with such a huge amount of data that we have to expand the capacity where we are putting them. Then digital therapeutics and genomics and gene editing. So imagine you have a startup idea, and the second step is to validate it. So how to do it? First of all, you have to conduct a market research. You have to understand the current healthcare landscape. You have to identify existing solutions and their gaps. Then to gather feedback from potential users, healthcare professionals, and other stakeholders. Third step is to engage in one-on-one discussions with the potential users and industry experts. Then to develop a basic version of your solution and test it. And then the last step is to gather feedback on the MVP you created and refine your solution. It is actually quite hard to implement all of the steps without much of the investment and run on your own money. So I really engage you not to burn a lot of money on this and try to do it to keep it low as possible and still gather all the information you need. So what are the biggest mistakes in the idea validation phase? If you assume that everyone is your customer, you have to narrow down to a specific target audience. Then you do not need to ignore the negative feedback, only focusing on positive responsive and overlooking constructive criticism. Usually the startups gets very sad when they're coming to the pitching sessions on or mentoring activities and they're getting the negative feedback, but negative feedback is not bad in that case because you are talking to the industry experts and this feedback can make you grow. Then you do not need to rely only on your friends and family. You have to get as different opinions as possible about the product you are trying to create. Then You have to reevaluate your initial assumptions based on new data and new feedback. And as I mentioned before, you do not need to overinvest before validation. So how to validate the idea without breaking the bank? Before, as I'm saying, before building a rocket space and which could fly to the moon, you have to, first of all, you have to build a simple paper plane. So please leverage free online tools. Use free versions of survey tools, feedback platforms, and MVP development tools. For instance, Figma, it's an amazing tool to create the MVP product. Crowdsourcing. Engage online communities, forums, and social media groups related to healthcare for feedback. Paper prototypes. Before a digital MVP, use sketches or diagrams to visually represent your solutions. Partnerships. This is about the partnerships. So collaborate with medical students, institutions, and professionals who can provide insights in exchange for potential future collaboration. And of course, attend the networking events. Engage with potential users. Do not be afraid to ask questions, to network, to be in the crowds, and to speak about your solution openly, because that's how you get the real feedback, and that's how you can make partnerships, make friends, or even attract the investment. About the investment, how to get funding for the healthcare startups. So there are different funding sources. Bootstrapping, that meaning that you are funding yourself with your own money or your family's money. Then angel investors, these are private investors who are investing rather small amount of money, but they are adding their connections, their expertise in the field. Then venture capitalist, crowdfunding platforms and grants and competitions, also accelerators. Then you need to craft a compelling pitch and clearly define the problem and solution and highlight the market potential. Then you need to build a robust business plan, which is quite hard to do from my own experience when you do not have that much of the metrics to prove your assumptions. And of course, networking, and one more time, networking is really important. So what are the biggest mistakes you can do while seeking a funding? You can be unprepared and not having clear answers to potential questions. And actually, this is totally normal because at the beginning you have more questions rather than answers. Then over evaluating your startup, it's the same as talking about your baby. Your baby is the most beautiful for you, so your startup is the best for you. And you have most of the time unrealistic valuations, and that can deter investors. Neglecting the importance of the team, you have to showcase a competent and diverse team, which consists not of your friends, but of your allies, of the different professionals from different fields. And lack of tractions. This is important actually in the later stages. It's really good if you have in the beginning, but in the beginning you are not able to do that in most of the cases. But you have to show some kind of the traction. It's probably the biggest illustration of that is the Dropbox example. Then they created just the simple video showing what they are going to build in the future, how the Dropbox will work, and they created the online survey, and they ask whether you would use this kind of a solution. And they got, if I am not mistaken, more than 100,000 answers. And this was attraction to show for the investors that this idea is feasible, that there is a market need for it. So you do not need to sell the actual product of it. You can show as attraction, you can illustrate it with the data collected through the survey. And as I mentioned before, ignoring the feedback. You have to not to be defensive, but to be open to the potential critic. So how to engage with the investors? You have to understand their perspective, that it's a business relations, and investor seeks return on their investment. So you have to highlight how your startup will achieve that. Then be transparent. Be open about the challenges, risks, and uncertainties. And of course, show your passion and commitment. Investors invest in founders as much as they invest in the ideas. So this is a very important thing. You have to show your capabilities and your determination to implement the project you are talking about. So what the investors look for? They look for the market potential. They look for unique value proposition that sets your solution apart from the competitors. They look for the traction that we've been talking before. They look for a team. They look for a team for most of the times at the early stage of the startups. They look for the strong team with the different skills. They want to hear about your wins and about your failures. They want to be unique, and they're investing in you rather into your idea. And the scalability. Startup has to scale and grow. Well, this is quite difficult to achieve when you are a medical startup. And decision-making factors for the investors. So we've been already touched base them briefly. So return on investment, of course, then alignment with portfolio. This is a very important thing. Do not try to get into the radar of all of the investors, venture capital funds or accelerators which are existing in the area in Europe, US or Lithuania. Look for the ones who fits with their existing investments. Then risk assessment, it's important. And the exit strategy. You have to think about it as well. So what are the key investors in Europe for healthcare startups? These are the main venture capital firms. As I mentioned, you have to align with the portfolio. If you are looking for the investment into the healthcare solution or device, these venture capital firms might be a good fit for you. Then accelerators and incubators. These are the four main ones where you can get the information, how they're funding, what's their procedure, and I really advise to attend the events organized by them and to get to know them better. Then angel investors and different kind of networks in Europe, and corporate venture arms. Actually, if you do not have a very well-defined idea, you can always attend into the various events organized by corporate venture arms like Novartis or Roche or Philips Health. Usually then corporations, big corporations are organizing any kind of the hackathons. They are they're coming up with their own ideas, which has to be implemented. So check their website, the websites, the social media, and attend the events. It's going to be the amazing place, amazing networking opportunity for you. And these are the main venture capital funds in Lithuania. It's Practica Capital, Open Circle Capital, Cominvest, and 70 Ventures. Look at the website and explore what they're doing here and what kind of, how much and in which kind of startups they're investing. Probably for the if you're early stage startup, accelerators would be a better choice for you. So Baltic Sandbox and Startup Wise Guys and Health Tech Accelerator, these are run by the amazing people, and they are not just about the investing, but also about the ecosystem building. So I really advise you to attend their events. Of course, business angels and networks in Lithuania you can check on, and the key organizations that supports startup ecosystem. For instance, Startup Lithuania. If you go to their page, you will find all the information you need to start a company in general. You can find the NDAs examples there. You can find the cooperation agreement examples. You can find the exact tips and tricks how to establish a company. The same goes the innovation agency. Innovation agency gives you a free consultations and consult you in terms how to create the business, what's the legal requirements, and so on and so forth. KTU Startup Space, eHealth Lithuania, Vilnius Tech Park, Lithuania Bio, Life Sciences Center, they are all here as the advisors for you to make your business thrive. These are the main events for the healthcare startups in Europe. Again, for the startup, it is very hard to think about the finances and to allocate finances to cover the traveling expenses, but there are lots of business missions, trade missions organized by the same innovation agency of Lithuania, where they can cover your travel expenses. These are the main events for healthcare startups in Lithuania. Of course, the biggest one is Life Sciences Baltics, happening every 2 years, and it happened this year. But you can also check what the LSMU Health Innovation Department is doing, what the KTU Startup Space is doing, what the Aid Lithuania events or Health Tech Accelerators events, masterclasses. There are plenty of events and networking opportunities for you. So let's finish it, and with the embracing the change into the healthcare and calling you to take an action and to change the industry. So what is the landscape of change if we are talking about the change? Healthcare is evolving with the rapid technological advancements, addressing global challenges and shifting towards patient-centric care. This is very important to remember. Right now, we are more and more talking about the personalized medicine and patient-centric models. And we are living in Lithuania, and Lithuania is in the unique position. Lithuania is emerging as a tech and startup hub right now, particularly in medtech, with the strong support system, including organizations like Startup Lithuania, Aid Health Lithuania, KTU Startup Space, and many others. We are having a very nice ecosystem here, which is growing with the help of all of us. And while working at a startup or trying to create a startup, we have to always remember the power of resilience, because startups are really, really challenging. It is counted that 9 startups out of 10 fail and only 1 manages to live through and get funding. And you have to remember that every failure is a lesson. I failed with my startup, and I am moving into the new ideas as well. I really hope to create my own startup one day as well. And because we always have to remember our mission, that we have to revolutionize the healthcare industry and make the positive impact. So I really want to ask you to dare to dream, because the next big breakthrough in healthcare could be your idea and you. Collaborate with the network, join hands with fellow students, professionals, and mentors, because together we can achieve more, and all the time stay curious. The medical field is vast. Keep learning, stay updated, and always be on the lookout for the problems and needed solutions. And the innovation starts with the conversation. So please reach out to me on LinkedIn, and let's continue this conversation, and let's continue this friendship. I am really looking forward to help you on your new business endeavors, because the journey of innovation is filled with highs and lows, but the impact we can make on the world of healthcare is immeasurable. So embrace the change and let's shape the future together. Let's keep in contact on LinkedIn.